Do you hear yourself? Do you know how this all sounds? You bribe your grandson to say that he slept with his father's wife.
Yes.
And then you rail against that as if it were a perversion, and you hold Brooke up as some kind of a sexual degenerate.
Yes.
And then you try to take your son and get him married to the woman you chose for him decades ago because it makes you feel healthy and alive. Your original bucket list. And all this to return us to the golden age when our family all lived under one roof. And your word was still law. I thought you had changed.
Well, you're the second person that told me today, and I'll tell you, it cuts to the quick.
Well, I thought you had changed, but apparently all the rest of us have, and we're waiting for you to catch up.
Well, I tried.
It doesn't seem like you're going to.
I tried. I didn't go through with it.
Oh, you give yourself credit for that? The only thing that accomplished was taking Taylor down with everybody else. And what good did your last-minute scruples do Thomas, anyway? You made him a deal that he was too hungry to refuse, and you knew that. So that now anything he accomplishes at Forrester in the future, no matter how dazzling, will be tainted by the idea that when he was tempted, he was weak. You sold him out. You set him up, Stephanie. And anything he gets now in the future from Forrester will be blood money.
I know. You think it's possible to kind of bring this on yourself? You know, this cancer. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Is it that I'm so filled with anger and envy and I need to be in control and this is, you know, God's way of telling you you're not in control. Cancer cells, you know, they resist all boundaries and they showing you and telling you that they're in charge and you're not. Is that what it's all about?
You haven't died.
Oh.
You wanted to. You wanted to curl up in a ball and just let it take you, but you haven't died, Stephanie. And just who do you have to thank for that?
I think it all makes sense now. I know what a bulldog your grandmother can be when she wants something.
Look, I can't blame my grandma. Look, I could have said no.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't be the single largest shareholder in Forrester, would you?
Well, I'm not that quite yet.
Right. She'd have to die. Is that how it works?
I know what I did was wrong.
I think I liked you better when I thought you were doing this for your mother.
I've made a mistake.
Nobody died. You have a lot of time to learn from this.
No, I'm not talking about the mistake I knew about, the lie I told. I'm thinking of the mistake I'm just now understanding. I didn't know what was important to me, and now I've just lost my two best friends.
You're right. I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Who else?
Daisy. She knew I was hiding something. She's the one person I told.
What did she say?
That I should tell you.
What did you say?
I told her I would, but if I'd have been any kind of man.
You're young, Thomas. Your life is full of possibilities. People who will love you. People who will see the good in you, even if you don't see the good in yourself. I just won't be one of them. Daisy and your father and your mother, they'll be there and they'll forgive you. And maybe in time I will be able to forgive you too. I just can't have an opportunist in my life whose conscience only wakes up when they're caught. I'm not going to be able to work with you anymore. And this is the last time we'll be together, alone behind closed doors. Now, that's not such a terrible penance, is it?
It is. Brooke, you're the only one who's ever believed in me. I've ruined everything that's mattered most.
You haven't ruined me. And you certainly are going to get a lot of money out of it, so. Rich! Thomas wants to say goodbye.
I'm sorry is an easy thing to say. I know I'm gonna have to prove it with my actions. And I will.
I might as well tie one on. I paid for all this, you know?
How long has this been going on?
What, this lie? This lie about Brooke and Thomas? I don't know. Stephanie tells me nothing until she absolutely has to.
Where is she now?
You know your mother, she's like a heat-seeking missile. I imagine she's headed precisely where she is least wanted.
So what are you going to do?
I can't throw her out in the street. She's not well enough.
You think it possibly could be the brain tumors? Or...
No. I admit there's a kind of pathological madness to it, but it's not medical this time.
Well, I think I'm going to take my wedding gifts back if nobody minds.
Thorne, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all this.
You think I'm pouting? Woe is me. Thomas has 30% of the company, and as usual, I have nothing.
I wouldn't blame you if you felt that way.
The truth is, I don't want to have to spend that much time around you people. My life is so much saner when you don't pay me attention, and nobody's going to be spreading stories about me sleeping with anyone, and that's just fine.
You okay?
He is really sorry.
That's not good enough.
He knows that too. I think he's beginning to understand the person he hurt the most was himself.
Well, that's a very generous perspective.
He is your son. You can't turn your back on him.
Logan, at the moment, I can't imagine the next words there to be between us.
Why don't you just go get out of this suit? It's a really sad reminder.
I'll get it.
I'd like to speak to you.
It's okay, Rich. There's really no sense in putting it off. I don't suppose you hear about the foundation?
No. No. I'm sorry. I guess it's safe to say I have violated every principle that I thought I had. I'm sorry. I don't want you to blame Tom for this, please, okay? Every decent and honest feeling that he had for you, I took and turned into something that it wasn't. And there's really no justification, of course, and no explanation, and all of the different reasons all these years that I've wanted you out of my son's life I don't know, they've just disappeared, and I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say.